So good evening. So today we'll start the first chapter of strategic management. You're aware there are total 7 topics in strategic management. The topics are business environment, first topic. Second is business policy and strategic management. Third is strategic analysis. Then fourth is strategic planning. Fifth is formulation of functional strategy. Sixth is strategy implementation and control. And the last one, seventh one, reaching the strategic age. Okay. Only 7 marks, 7 topics, 50 marks. And very interesting subject because it talks about business. It talks about strategies used in business. How some businesses grow to such an extent that their annual income is more than GDP of many small countries also. Which is such company? Apple. Okay. Apple has got annual income which is more than GDP of many small countries. So much income they generate. How such organization become such giant companies? This is the subject which deals with that. Okay. So this subject deals with strategies used by businessmen. How to survive in business and how to grow in business. Is it right? So how many of you want to become businessmen after you qualify? Please raise hand. Okay, that's wonderful. How many of you want to become a professional after qualifying? Remaining. How many of you want to become social worker? There are some students in that category also. Okay. So that's good. I am happy that there are so many students who want to become businessmen after you qualify. Because life of businessman is very challenging. Every day there is a new challenge. Is it right? Every day things are changing. So you have to understand the change. You have to design the strategies accordingly. So the first topic, as the name suggests, what is the name of the first topic? Business environment. That is the environment in which business operates. What are these factors which affects business? Okay, that is what we will learn in this first topic. A very simple topic. Common sense is advisable. No extraordinary intelligence is required to understand this topic. A general knowledge of business is enough. Okay. So first we will see what is the meaning of this term business. Anybody, what is the meaning of this term business? Business can mean different things to different people. Is it right? It cannot have one single answer. So anybody of you who would like to answer, what is business? Very good. Business means exchange of goods and service in terms of money. I like your definition. You quickly read this answer or it was your own answer? Okay. If it was your own answer, then it is very good. Anybody else who wants to try? Yes, one more student on the last bench wants to try. Business is something which serves the needs of people. Okay. Very good. Anybody else? One more chance. One last student. Huh? It's one's regular occupation. Okay. So tell me, what is your business? Right now the student's business is to study. Okay. Primary business or secondary business? Okay. He's saying it is his primary business. Okay. Because for somebody it may be secondary also. So I like your answer. It's your primary business, and I hope till you become CA it remains your primary business only. Okay. Now, so let us see some definitions of business given by different authors, given in your ICI study module. A business is an organization. Okay, so organization means a system where you have people, man, material, money working together to produce some goods or service. That is an organization. Or an economic system. Again, economic system means a system which converts inputs into output and generates value for the people, several people who are associated. A business requires lot of skill. For example, you have seen this booklet, for example, this simple booklet you have. So you can imagine how many process we had to go through to finally complete this book. Is it right? Somebody must have manufactured paper on which this book is printed. Somebody must have manufactured the ink in which which has been used to print this book. Somebody must have invented some computer on which we had written the book originally. Then somebody must have designed a software in which so many things have been used. Then there is a printing press which was used to print this book. There is a binding press where the book was bound. Okay, so that is economic system. So many processes, when they come together, a business is generated. Okay, so a business means an organization or economic system where goods and services are exchanged for one another for money. So in business generally there is an exchange of goods and service. Imagine any business, either we are exchanging goods or we are exchanging service, and we are getting money or something in money's worth in return. Is it right? So for example, somebody is selling grocery. So he is selling grocery and he gets the money in return. Is it right? Next is, second definition of business is, when we say business, it also refers to a particular entity. Okay, so Reliance Limited is an entity. A.S.Foundation is an entity. Or any other entity you know? Tata Motors is an entity. Other than this, Infosys is an entity. Okay. Or when we say business, it means a company. Like for example, L&T. What is L&T Limited? Larsen and Toubro Limited. What do they do? Business. What business? Engineering business. They are into construction activities. Okay. Engineering activities, electrical activities, and they have got other subsidiaries which are in the field of finance also. So they manufacture this, they construct these big bridges, dams, okay, housing complexes. Then Tata Power Limited is a company. What Tata Power Limited does? Distribution of power. Distribution of power. Okay. And Maruti Suzuki Limited. What Maruti Suzuki Limited does? Manufacturing and selling of car. Manufacturing and selling of car. Is it right? Or it can be a corporation that is created and managed by the people. Example of a corporation is a life insurance corporation. Have you heard life insurance corporation? What do? They provide life insurance service. Anybody who wants to get his life insured can approach this life insurance corporation. They will pay premium and the life insurance company will provide the insurance. That is a protection. In case if the insured person dies, then his family members will get the compensation. Okay. And there is a power finance corporation. This is into power sector. Next definition of business we will see, it's an activity, which some of the students said this. It's an activity of purchase, activity of sale, okay, an activity of manufacture, activity of processing, and or marketing of product and or service. So in this chapter we are always going to say business means it is either product or it is service. Okay, for Maruti Suzuki Limited, manufacturing and selling car is a product. Okay, but for A.S.Foundation, rendering of education service. We sell some books also in the process. Okay, but primary activities to render the service. Hospitals to render the service. They may sell some medicines also, but the main objective is to render the service. Airline service, but they sell some food also inside the aircraft when the flight takes off and you have no other way to purchase the food. Okay, so that is business. It means purchasing, selling, manufacturing, processing, and or marketing of products and services. Business can be owned by private people. Is it right? Most of the businesses that you see around you, एक ऐसे आंख से चक्कर मारो, see how many businesses are around you. Most of them are privately owned, not government owned. Is it right? Then there can be businesses which are not for profit organization. That means their main objective is not to earn the profit, but they do buy and sell. Is it right? Like there are some hospitals where you get medical services at a very low price. They don't make profit out of it, but they do charge you some amount. Otherwise, they will not be able to survive. They only charge that much so that they can continue to meet their expenses. Is it right? So these are not for profit organization. There are libraries which provide you books, okay, but they charge you a very nominal amount. There are schools which charge very nominal fees to their rendering service. Businesses can be owned by the government, central government or state government, or both together. So these are called state-owned enterprises. Any example of state-owned enterprises? Give me 5 examples of state-owned enterprises. One is HPCL, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited. Bhilai Steel Plant. The person from Bhilai, near Bhilai, is saying Bhilai Steel Plant. Okay. LIC, State Bank of India. NTPC, National Thermal Power Corporation. ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Commission. GAIL, GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited. GAIL, BHEL also. Bharat Electricals Limited. GAIL, BHEL, SAIL also. Steel Authority of India Limited. So there are many enterprises which are owned and controlled by the government. They are also into business. They also sell products or render the services. Is it right? So business can be owned by private people or by the government. An example of corporate business is Infosys Limited. What Infosys does? Software development. Wipro Limited, primarily into software development. While there can be a private business like Flavors on FC Road. Have you seen Flavors on FC Road? How many of you have seen Flavors on FC Road? Raise hand. Where is FC Road? That have you known that? It's in Pune. Famous road for the student, near Deccan Gymkhana, near Ferguson College, BMCC College, Symbiosis College से थोड़ा दूर है, ठीक है? तो फ्लेवर्स है, रंगोली के पहले थोड़ा सा, सॉरी रूपाली के पहले, somewhere near वैशाली रूपाली, ओके, तो वहाँ पे बहुत अच्छी आइसक्रीम शायद मिलती है, ओके, so these are privately owned business. All examples from in and around Pune, okay, lot of examples you will see, so that you will relink what is written in the book and what you see around you. So the next is one more definition of business. Business can be interpreted as a particular market sector. Business can be interpreted as a particular market sector. For example, when we say computer business, so it deals with computers and related equipments, okay, accessories. So any example of computer business around you? Notebook on Tilak Road, and there is a long chain of, you will see computers there. Is it right? Some more shops are there. Baba Computer System. Anybody else? There is a Laptec also, Dell also, I think Toshiba also, HP also. Line से करीब 10-15 shops हैं where you can purchase computers, okay, or computer related hardwares. Then Business can mean education business also. Is it right? Which is the most growing sector? Education sector. Is it right? So for example, Symbiosis Open University, Bharati Vidyapith, D.Y. Patil, okay, SP College, ठीक है, बस BMCC, automobile business, Pandit Automobile on Tilak Road, near our office only, just about 100 to 200 meters away from this place. Then any other automobile business? DSK Toyota, Monarch, okay, Hero Cycle. So these are automobile business. So these are just examples. Any other example of business? Pharmaceutical business, okay. Airline business. Movie business. That is also business. Entertainment business. Okay, next question for all of you. Why do business exist? Why do business exist? Why so many businesses around you? What are the reasons for their being into existence? Business के exist होने के क्या क्या कारण हो सकते हैं? Okay, there can be several reasons. Okay, one reason, first reason is to satisfy a particular need of a customer or society in relation to some goods or service. Okay, customer, people, society require some goods and service. For example, you require notebook. There is a stationery shop on the ground floor. You can go there, pay the price, get the notebook. You can't manufacture notebook yourself. Yes or no? Suppose you need tea in the morning when you come to the class at 6:30 or 7 o'clock. So what will you do? You can go to a tea vendor on the ground floor, corner में, ठीक है? मैं उसकी मार्केटिंग नहीं कर रहा हूँ, उसने मुझे कुछ कमीशन नहीं दिया, मैं ऐसे ही बता रहा हूँ. तो you can purchase tea. Afternoon when your costing batch will get over, you will require lunch. Okay, so there is a person who provides lunch also. There are restaurants in the nearby area where you can buy lunch. If you need education, there are so many educational institutes in and around this Kumar Prestige Point building. Is it right? You require car, you can purchase car. So different people have different needs. You require medical attention, there are hospitals. You require insurance, there are insurance companies. Okay. And second objective of business is to earn profit. Why do businessmen needs to earn profit? See, first of all, you have invested your capital in that, so you need a return on your capital. Then you need profit so that you can survive. If you make losses, what will happen after a few months or years? The business will come to an end. Your capital will come to an end. Your business will come to an end. Then business needs to make profit to grow. Is it right? Profits are reinvested in the business again so that business can grow. So this is another reason for business to exist. Just like a worker wants wages, a lender wants interest, a businessman wants profit. Is it right? That is one of the important motive behind doing business, to earn profit. Is it right? But that is not the only objective. Next objective of business is to earn a rate of return on the capital employed. Those who do business, they have to employ their capital, their own money in the business. Okay, you have to purchase a building or an office, you will require money, you will have furniture, office equipment, computers, you will require money for that. Is it right? You will invest in the stock, you require money for that. So don't you want some rate of return on that? Yes or no? Otherwise you will think that I can invest my money in a government bond or in a bank FD or some post office deposit and I can earn some interest on that. So at least I must get something more than what I can easily earn by investing in government security or bank deposit or PPF. PPF means Public Provident Fund, okay, or Kisan Vikas Patra, okay, which are also investment opportunities. So for earning a return. And the next thing, businessman wants to earn a reward for taking the risk. There are two options before you, to invest in a government security and to invest in a business. If government security gives you 8% rate of interest, would you like to earn same 8% return in business also? No. You want more or less? Why you want more? Because in business you are also taking the risk. Government bond gives you an assured return. Business does not give you assured return. In business there can be losses also. Okay. So you are taking a risk. You are taking a risk. When you purchase 100 notebooks to sell, you don't know whether students would really demand 100 notebooks in a day or not. If they don't demand, then so many notebooks will remain with you for the next day. Your money is invested. There is an opportunity cost of that. Is it right? So you are taking a risk. And therefore you want a reward for taking the risk. So what are the 4 reasons people invest in business? To satisfy the needs of consumers and customers and society, to earn profit, for getting a return, and it is a reward for risk taking. Is it right? Now we'll talk about business environment. This chapter heading is also business environment. You have understood business. Business means an activity of producing, purchasing, manufacturing, selling, distribution of goods and service. Business means taking risk. Business means different activities like selling computer or tea or notebook or pharmaceutical or education, like that. Okay. Now next is, what is the meaning of environment? Business environment. Business का मतलब तो समझ में आ गया. What is environment? Environment means surrounding in which the business operates. Environment means surrounding in which the business operates. Should we ignore the environment while evaluating business strategies? Tell me. You do whatever you want. Let whatever happens in the environment. Let whether Modi Sarkar comes or Rahul Sarkar comes or Mamta Sarkar comes or Mayawati Sarkar comes. I am least bothered. Can I say that? Who is Modi, Maya, Mamta, Rahul? I hope you know that. Who is Maya? Mayawati. Okay. Who is Mamta? Mamta Banerjee. Okay. Mamta Banerjee. Okay, so does it make a difference in our business if Mamta Banerjee becomes PM in the next general election? Will it affect our business? How does it affect my business? They can change the policies, okay. They can say that no more FDI in retail sector, no more FDI in this sector, okay. So therefore those who are doing business in those sectors will be affected. Suppose technology changes, will it affect our business? Yes. So technology is also an element of environment. Government and government policies are also an element of environment. So as a business, we have to work within certain environment. Okay. Because we take input from the environment, we take input from the society. Business functions as a part of a broader environment. Business is a part of the environment. Okay. And business takes input. What are the inputs we take from the market, from the environment? Inputs are in the form of human capital. What is human capital? The labor. Skilled or unskilled. Semi-skilled. Okay. Or physical, like raw material. Financial, like capital. Okay. Loan. And other related resources are drawn from the environment. If bank rate changes, does it affect business? Yes, because then loan will become expensive. You will not be able to borrow at a lower rate. Okay. Business convert these resources through various processes into output of products and service. This was also one of the definitions of business. Business takes resources from environment. Okay. Convert these resources into output. Those outputs may be goods or services. Is it right? Which are consumed by customers and consumers. So this is the main function of business. It takes input from the environment and it returns output back to the environment. That is the relationship between business and environment. So it takes input, raw material, labor, capital, okay, land, and it produces goods and service which are again returned back to the environment. Okay. The environment consists of customer, supplier, government and other people. We'll discuss them as we'll go ahead. The latter are partly exchanged with external client groups like customers. So who are customers? The customer is one who purchases the goods and services produced by a businessman or business. Is it right? The exchange process brings in some surplus. I repeat, first we'll take input from the environment, process it, convert into output. Will the value of output and value of input be equal? No. Which will be higher? Output value should be higher. Output value should be higher so that the business will continue to survive and grow. Is it right? The exchange process brings in some surplus or profits, reputation, good public image and so on to the business, which could be stored and used for further development and growth. So this is a very important paragraph. What is the relationship between business and environment? Business takes input from the environment, converts into output. In the process, it generates surplus. Surplus is used for further growth and development. If we don't have surplus, we can't grow in business, because to grow you need to invest in more assets. More capital investment you have to do. More capital investment is possible if you generate surplus or profit. Is it right? So now we'll see the objectives of business. Objective of business is, there are many objectives. I cannot make a complete list of what are the objectives of business. Is it possible? Can I make an exhaustive list, complete list? बस हो गया, इससे ज़्यादा और कुछ नहीं. Different business will have different objectives also. Is it right? Some businessmen will have an objective to create and retain customer. They are continuously focused on creation of more and more customer base. Like for example, a mobile phone company. Write their example, mobile phone company. They will try to have more and more customer base and then retaining them also by giving them good services. Right? So this is one of the very important objectives of business, that you must create and maintain customer. More customer means more sales. More sales means more profit. More profit means more growth, more development. More growth and more development means again more growth and again more development. Is it right? Yes. So it starts from customer. Enterprises pursue multiple objectives rather than a single objective. Yes or no? Can we have only one single objective? No. So I have written there in Hindi, but the word letters are in English. Okay. मतलब बिजनेस का सिर्फ एक ही ऑब्जेक्टिव नहीं होता है. It has got many objectives. तो अभी हम अगले स्लाइड में देखते हैं बिजनेस के कितने ऑब्जेक्टिव हो सकते हैं. Objectives of business. First and foremost, survival. We'll discuss in the next slide survival. Then efficiency. Inefficient business cannot survive in the long run. Okay. Then continuously we are discussing growth. The objective of business is growth. The objective of business is stability. And the objective of business is profit. So there can be many more, but these are the 5 main objectives of any business. Survival, efficiency, growth, stability, profitability. Okay. So first few minutes we will understand what is survival objective. What do you mean by survival? To survive, not to die. In business, not to die means business should not come to an end. It should continue to progress. Okay, it should continue to grow. It should be there next year also. It should be a going concern in the language of accountancy. Is it right? In the language of accountancy, can we say to survive means to be a going concern? Not to become a non-going concern. Is it right? So the survival is the main objective. Only if you can survive, you can do anything else in life. Can you do anything after death? There are few things you can do, but we will not discuss those things. Okay. I can't give example also in this classroom. Now, survival means the objective must be to survive as long as possible. True or false? Some of the companies, like for example Tata Steel, was formed in 1907, most probably, and we are in 2015. So more than 100 years it has survived. So that is how the business has to be planned. Okay, so some businesses are 100 years old, 200 years old, and they are still there in the market. Is it right? But not necessarily every business will be able to survive. Some of the businesses are wound up also. Okay, then they no longer exist. It means there was some misplanning, some mismanagement was there in that business planning. Is it right? So with proper planning, proper execution, business can survive. Survival depends on nature of ownership. Now business can be created in different structure like proprietorship, partnership, private limited, public limited but not listed on a stock exchange, and public limited and listed on the stock exchange, or limited liability partnership nowadays. Is it right? So these are the different forms of business structure. So tell me, between a proprietorship and a listed company on the stock exchange, whose chances of survival for a longer period is high? A listed company. A listed company has a longer chances of survival, because even if suppose one of the board members dies, board of directors, he dies, will the company come to an end? Company will continue to exist. Some other board member will join. But if there is a proprietor, and if he dies, the business will come to an end. Okay. Similarly, there is a partnership. It may so happen that partners may dispute, fight among themselves, juta, chappal, everything will be over and the business will come to an end. Sometimes it happens, they start fighting using some physical instruments also. No, sometimes. So business survival depends on nature of ownership. So in the exam you will say proprietor firm is more risk prone, okay, as compared to a private limited company. A private limited company is more risk prone as compared to a public limited company. Because in public limited company, the members keeps coming, going, shareholders keep joining and leaving the organization, but the company continues to exist. Okay, the nature of survival depends on the nature of business competence of the management. True or false? Survival depends on competence of the management. Yes, in your exam true and false question also are asked. So you will say true. Why true? The management is competent, they will be able to convert input into output and generate surplus. More surplus they can generate. More surplus means more chances of survival and growth. Is it right? If the management is inefficient, it will result into losses, inefficiency, wastages, and finally the business will come to an end. Okay. Then business also depends on general and industry conditions. It depends in which industry you are doing business. What is an industry? आप बताएंगे, you will tell me. Industry. Not you, this girl, huh? Yes, you can sit down and answer. Industry means manufacturing goods and services. No. Industry means, you wanted to say? No, exactly tell me the meaning of industry. No. Industry means similar firms. A group of similar firms. You are defining a firm. Group of similar firms together is called an industry. So Maruti Suzuki Limited is a firm. Tata Motors Limited is a firm. Hyundai is a firm. Honda is a firm. Mercedes is a firm. All these 5 companies together is the automobile industry. Automobile industry. Is it right? So have you understood the difference? So these 5 firms which are in the same line of activity together, they are called industry. Is it right? So there are some industries which may grow, there are some industries which will come to an end. For example, the speed with which the technology is changing. Let us say your industry is typewriter industry. Which industry? Typewriter industry. What is a typewriter industry? The one which manufactures typewriters. So what will happen to the survival of this industry in the long run? Will people buy typewriters? Why people don't buy typewriters nowadays? Because you have simple computers, okay? Computer can do the same function which typewriter does, but much better also. You can erase, you can delete, you can copy, okay, you can cut, you can paste, you can email. You can't do all this in a typewriter, is it right? You can change the font size, color combination. So therefore typewriter is a dying industry. So survival will be difficult. Survival will be difficult. Or for example, your company manufactures, let us say, kickstart scooter. Which scooter? Kickstart. Have you seen kickstart scooter? Where have you seen? Bajaj Chetak or Bajaj M80. Is it right? Earlier Vespa was their kickstart scooter. So first you have to kick 2-3 times. If it doesn't start, again kick for a few more times. Then you run with the vehicle for some distance. And then you press the clutch and you jump and sit on the vehicle and then it starts. That was the, just like you jump on a cycle when you have to sit on a cycle, that we used to start the scooter also. But the technology has changed. Nowadays, we hardly see any such scooter. We have self-starter, only you have to press one button, okay, and the vehicle starts. So those industries will not survive, which manufacture kickstart scooters. Is it right? So survival also depends on which type of industry you are operating right now. Certain industries will finally come to an end. Is it right? Because the technologies have changed. So if the company belongs to industry which is growing, risk is less. If a company belongs to industry where growth is slowing down, growth rate is negative, okay, product is becoming obsolete, it will come to an end. Okay. Survival depends on financial strength of the enterprise. What is a financial strength? That means how much capital you have. Because there are some situations when you need money. If you don't have money, then business may come to an end. Like for example, you have taken loan from a bank. In the introduction lecture, I said that this subject is linked with your financial management. So I am going to give lot of example from finance also. Like if you have taken loan from a bank, you have to pay equated monthly installment every month, say 6 lakh rupees. Is it right? If you have taken a loan of say 5 crore rupees, every month you have to pay a loan installment of say 6 lakh rupees. Which means you must have 6 lakh rupees on the first day of the month or last day of the month when the due date of the installment will be there. What if you don't pay the installment on the due date? The bank will send you a notice. Bank will say that we want to now sell your assets to recover our money. Is it right? So survival has become difficult now. So financial strength is also required in business. Many big businesses have been wound up because they had no funds to continue. Okay. So capital is very important. Financial strength is very important in business. Then businessman requires stability. Businessman requires stability. What do you mean by stability? Stability in terms of sales, stability in terms of profit, okay, stability in terms of your customer base, okay, so that you know that next year also I'm going to survive. Both objectives are ultimately leading to the same thing, survival. Okay. Uncertainty is to be avoided. That is what businessman wants. Would you like uncertainty? No. Because you have got so many fixed overheads that you have to pay. Am I right? When you start a business, the moment you start a business, remember there are so many fixed costs you have to pay every month. Example of fixed cost? 5 example of fixed cost: rent, electricity. Some portion of electricity is variable, some portion is fixed, okay. Salary of the employees, very good, 3 ho gaye, or 2, I want 2 more. Interest on capital, very good. Then there are municipal taxes on properties. So every month one property bill comes, that your property bill is 60,000 rupees. Is it right? Then telephone, some cost is fixed. If you have taken a telephone connection, then some amount has to be paid. Okay, these are some example. Printing and stationery is there. So you have to recover these costs through your sales. Is it right? So one of the other important objectives of a business enterprise is stability. So what do you mean by stability? Stability means in terms of sales, in terms of profit, in terms of market share, in terms of customer satisfaction, and so on. Is it right? For different businessmen, stability can mean different things. Like for a mobile phone company, they will say stability in terms of our customer base. Is it right? Our customer base should not reduce. Our customer should not shift to some other mobile phone service. Is it right? Then stability is a cautious and conservative objective. True or false? Because this type of questions are asked, that stability is a cautious and conservative objective. State with reason whether the statement is true or false. So you will say the statement is true. Because here we are more focusing on keeping the sales constant or keeping the profit constant. We are not focusing on incremental, increasing the sale or increasing the profit. Because to increase the sale, to increase the profit, you have to take some risk also. Am I right? If your sale is 1 crore rupees in this year, you want to increase it to 2 crore rupees in the next year, what you have to do? Some credit policies you have to fix, okay? Credit policy you have to give. Customer should be given more credit. You have to keep more inventories, more varieties of goods you have to keep. Earlier you were selling 3 colors car only, red color, white and blue. Now you have to keep 7 different colors of cars. Is it right? Which means inventory level will increase. Your investment in the inventory level will increase. You have to spend more money on advertisement to increase the sales. So that will become a little riskier. So stability approach is a cautious and conservative approach because we want to at least maintain the same level of sales, profit. We do not want to take new risk. Okay, we do not want to take new risk. Unnecessary risk we want to avoid. Stability is a least expensive and least risky objective. True or false? Least risky. You don't have to change anything. Just continue with what you are doing. Is it right? Just continue to sell the same 3 colors car only. So same type of customer will continue to come to you. Okay? You don't have to apply any extra managerial talent. To do new things you require talent. To do the same thing, do we require more talent? Suppose I ask you to appear for CPT again, will you require more effort? No, same effort is enough. But suppose you have to pass IPCC, more talent is required. Yes or no? More efforts are required. Nahi? Okay, so stability approach requires minimum or the same amount of managerial time, talent and other resources. It's a stable and steady enterprises, minimizes managerial tension and demands less dynamism from managers. So there are people who are satisfied people, okay. Stability is good for those who are quite satisfied people. संतुष्ट लोग हैं, संतोषी प्राणी हैं, संतोष है इनको, बस जो है ठीक है, सेटिस्फाइड, ओके. बहुत ज्यादा दिमाग पच्ची नहीं करना, ज्यादा टेंशन नहीं लेना है कि नहीं. जो स्टूडेंट को सिर्फ 100 मार्क्स चाहिए रहता है वो सबसे सुखी रहता है. जिसको मेरिट में आना रहता है ना, वो जब देखो दुखी रहता है. एक क्वेश्चन नहीं बना टेंशन में आ जाता है एग्जाम के बाद में कि एक छूट गया. जिसका 10 छूटा उसको कोई टेंशन नहीं रहता है. So stability is a good objective for satisfied people. Is it right? It requires less dynamism, less resource, less talent. Even if the environment changes adversely, then also the business is not affected. That is one also advantage of this, that they are not affected if there is a change in environment. Like for example, those who are in food business. Have you seen any restaurants whose business fluctuates with the change in the environment? रिसेशन आ गया मान लो, लोग खाना बंद कर देते हैं 3 महीने के लिए, फिर वापस बूम है, दबा दबा के 2-3 कटोरी खा रहे हैं, दही वड़ा पाव सांभर सब मंगा लिए एक साथ. 57-56 टाइप के पूरे जो भी होते हैं ना, सब मंगा के खाना है कि नहीं. ऐसे करते हैं ना? ऐसे नहीं करते हैं तो कैसे करते हैं आप बताओ. In every season you eat equal amount, maybe 5% plus minus. Yes, so that is stable business. Food business, stable business. Mobile business, mobile is not stable. It is a dynamic business. After 3 months, suppose the technology changes. Okay, now instead of mobile phone, we will have wrist watches with all mobile phone features. So what will this type of companies do? Because every customer will say, I want that wrist watch wala mobile phone. आपके पास है? आप बोलेंगे नहीं. Then what he will do? He will go to the next shop. So that is dynamism. That is not stability policy. And if you continue to sell that same old fashioned mobile phone, maybe after 6 months or 1 year, nobody would purchase anything from you. Your business will come to an end. Stability will not be there. Okay. One of the most important objectives of business is growth. A businessman, no doubt he will be interested in survival and stability. But he always wants to grow. That is the charm of being in business. You always want to grow. Whichever business you are in, you would like to grow, means you want to have more sales, more profit, more customers. Is it right? If possible, more branches, more outlets, more cities, more countries, okay, where your product would be sold. So growth is equal to dynamism. What is dynamism? Dynamism means changing according to the changes in environment. Changing fast, okay? Changing fast. If you change but late, it is of no use. You have to understand that environment is changing and you should be always ahead when the things are changing. Then the growth is equal to strength. Growth indicates a strong company. Growth is equal to promise means huge potential. Such companies have got huge future potential. Okay. And growth is equal to success. So people equate growth with dynamism, growth with strength, growth with promise, growth with success. Good or bad? Good or bad? Good. Suppose you start business tomorrow, would you like to grow or would you like to remain stable? Growth, that's good. Okay. So growth means what? In business, what is the meaning of growth? It means increase in your asset capacity. Is it right? So if you have one factory, you have added one more factory, means you have grown. Increase in your manufacturing facilities. If you have a plant capacity of 1000 units in a year, you add one more plant with another 1000 units. So now you have 2000 capacity, 2000 units capacity. So have you grown? Yes. Growth in general in business means in terms of sales volume. In terms of sales volume. Is it right? Sales volume by either adding to the same product, more sales of the same product, or adding new products. Improvement in profit. Sales growth automatically would mean improvement in growth in profit and improvement in market share. Businessmen will continuously highlight in the newspaper. If you read newspaper, they will say this year our profit has increased by 20%. This year our sales has increased by 30%. Is it right? Have you read such news articles? No? Yes. Growth means increase in your manpower employment also. Human resource, number of employees. Tata Consultancy Service, a software company in India, has more than 2 lakh employees. How many employees? 2 lakh employees, which is more than the size of some countries also. Okay, that those many employees are employed by one company, and still they are saying we are going to add another 15,000 employees in the next year. Which company will add more employees? A stable company, declining company, or a growth company? Obviously a growth company. So number of employees are increasing is a sign of growth. Manufacturing capacity is increasing is a sign of growth. Growth also means acquisition of other enterprises. Okay. One way to grow fast is to acquire other companies. Instead of doing everything from your own from the beginning, it is better to take over the other company. Because to start a business, to make it profitable, to create a brand, to create a goodwill takes some years. Yes or no? Any example of recent acquisition? Tata Motors Limited has acquired Jaguar. Some recent one. One of the most famous acquisitions in the recent time is WhatsApp was taken over by Facebook. Because it will take so many years to create a similar type of brand. Is it right? Or Nokia was taken over by Microsoft. So that you don't have to start a mobile manufacturing facility from zero. There is already a plant, there is already everything in place, you just have to now manage it. So that is also growth. So growth can mean different things. So growth may take the enterprise along relatively unknown and risky path. Whatever statements I have written, those are all true false type of statement. Then in the exam you just have to write whether it is right or wrong and why. Okay. If you are a growth oriented company, you have to take risk. True or false? True. Growth doesn't come without risk. Because you have to invest in new ideas, new technology, new product. Is it right? Anything which is new, you don't know whether it will be successful or a failure. Is it right? So therefore there is a risk involved. So having growth as an objective means you also are willing to take the risk, the challenges of risk, which is full of promises and pitfalls. That means you will succeed or you may lose. Okay. Next objective of business is efficiency. Again, very important objective. This objective will help you to survive, remain stable as well as grow. If you are efficient. So when are you efficient? When the value of your output is more than the value of your input. When you can produce more and consume less. Is it right? When you can produce things at a lower price. When the wastages are lower. That is a sign of efficiency. So businessman always aims at achieving efficiency. Because in today's world, in order to survive, in order to grow, in order to remain stable, you need to be efficient also. Yes or no? Can without efficiency a business grow? No, not possible only. Okay. So you can see these objectives are also interlinked with each other. If I am efficient, only then I can survive. If I can survive, only then I can remain stable and then I can grow. So efficiency is an economic term which means achieving higher output to input ratio. Output upon input should be higher and higher. Is it right? Higher output to input ratio of funds, resources, facilities and efforts. That means whatever we are taking as an input and whatever we are producing as an output, the value of the output that we generate is more than the value of the input that we use. That is efficiency. Is it right? And we should try to achieve a higher and higher output to input ratio. Yes or no? That is efficiency. Higher output and to input ratio. If last year it was 1.5, this year it should be 2. If industry standard is 2, we should have more than 2. Okay? Then you are efficient than other people. So efficiency means to achieve the goals. Doing things in the best possible manner. Things can be done in different ways. Is it right? So efficiency means doing the things in the best possible manner. In business, because of increasing competition, increasing challenges, increasing changes in technology, you have to be the best in the given line of activity. Otherwise, you will not be able to survive, remain stable or grow. Utilizing resources in the most suitable combination to get the highest productivity. Things can be done in different ways. Is it right? What you have to do, you have to find out that method which will produce maximum value for a minimum cost. Is it right? So you have to continuously think how we can maximize the value of output and minimize the value of input. Is it right? So change the machine, change the technology, change the software, change the design, change the process and try to generate more output to input ratio. Is it right? So efficiency is a very useful operational objective. Without efficiency, you will write in the exam, survival is not possible, stability is not possible, growth is not possible. So write in your notice board that we want to be the most efficient company. So what message does it send? That we want to do everything in the best possible manner. Is it right? If efficiency is the objective, everybody in the organization will try to put the best effort. When everybody will put the best effort, you will obviously achieve higher output to input ratio. And next is profitability. That I have discussed earlier also. What is profit? Profit is the difference between value of your output and the value of the input. Is profit. Is it right? Sales minus cost is profit. Simple. No complication. Revenue minus the cost that is incurred to generate that revenue is your profit. So, should profit be the motive or the objective of the business? Profit should be the objective, correct. Why profit should be the objective? Again, our previous answers: to survive, to grow, to remain stable. Is it right? Profitability is a sign of efficiency. Only if you are efficient, you are profitable. Is it right? So, a company should have profit as an objective. It should not be the sole objective. It should not be the only objective, but it should be one of the important objectives. Any business should have profit as an objective. That is, it should consume less and produce more. The value of output should be more than value of the input. Okay. For some people, not necessarily every businessman, profit may be the only objective. Okay, so those who manufacture, say for example, liquor, what is their only objective? Profit. Those who manufacture, suppose guns, revolver, okay, bomb, what is their only objective? Profit. Is it right? Should profit be the only objective? No. It should facilitate other objective. When you have profit as an objective, you are trying to fulfill other objectives of survival, stability, growth, efficiency. So it's just complementing the other objectives. Okay. Private business enterprises are operated on behalf of and for the benefit of the owners who have assumed the business risk of investing their funds. So if the question is why profit should be the objective, the answer is I have invested my capital in the business. I means the shareholder, or in case of private enterprises, the private owner, proprietor, partner, they have invested their capital. Obviously, if you have invested your capital, there is an opportunity cost of that. Am I right? Otherwise, you can invest this money in some other place like a government security or a post office deposit or a bank deposit. Plus, you are taking the risk. Plus, you are taking the risk because it's a business. It's not a government security. In government security, after 5 years, you go to the respective government unit where you have invested your money, and they will exactly give you principal plus interest for 5 years. They will take a calculator, do the calculation. This is your future value. Take it. In business, after 5 years, do we know how much money we will get? Yes or no? No. Is it right? So therefore, a businessman who invests in a business wants profit, which is a compensation for investing his capital and compensation for taking the risk. So we can say profit is a compensation for taking the risk, okay, and investing your capital. So these are the 5 objectives of business. So what are the 5 objectives of business? One more time. First is survival. Second is stability. Third is growth. Fourth is efficiency. And fifth is in reverse order. Fifth is, fourth is, third is, second is, first one. Okay. Odd numbers you. 1, 3, 5. First objective. Survival. Growth. Third is growth. Fifth is profit. Anyway, sequence was not important. In the exam, you can write in any combination possible. Is it right? Next is environmental analysis. So next few minutes will be spent with understanding what is business environment, why environmental analysis is required, what are the various environmental factors which affect the business. Is it right? The question is, the question which they ask in the exam also, that should we analyze the environment in which business operates and why? Yes or no? Should we analyze the environment in which business operates and why? Because environment will give you lot of information which you will use for making further strategies for your next level of business. Is it right? So we'll see one by one. So why environmental analysis? Those who have the book, you please tick mark for a 4 mark or 3 mark question. Why environmental analysis is necessary? Question for 3 to 4 marks. Then you should preferably write the important issues first. You can write a long essay on this particular heading. Okay. We don't require a long essay. We require the precise answer. Why business environment analysis is necessary. Okay. Those who are doing business, they cannot keep their eyes closed and do whatever they want. Is it possible? In the introduction also today I told you, things are changing. Things are changing. If you are in any business, not just say software business or technology product business or electronic business, any business if you are in, things are changing. Is it right? Some of the changes which are taking place in environment, which can affect your business seriously. So seriously that it may not remain a going concern also. So 5 examples I'll give you, which I will repeat many times. Government and government policy can change. Will it affect business? Seriously. Some governments can bring a law that tobacco production, consumption is banned. Tobacco, liquor consumption, production is banned. Your company is a big cigarette manufacturing company. Okay, what will happen to the business of this company? It may not survive also. Competition can change. Second environmental factor is competition can change. More and more new competitor, if they enter the market, then they will break your monopoly. They will take the market share from you. Third factor is a substitute product. Substitutes, you know, any substitute. Tea versus coffee. Nokia mobile phone versus Samsung mobile phone. Tata tea versus Tetley tea. Lifebuoy versus Rexona. Is it right? Lay's versus Kurkure. Balaji. Students' favorite Balaji. Okay. These are substitute. So when a new and better substitute appears in the market and at a lower price also, then probably your survival may be endangered. Survival will become difficult. Is it right? So that was second example, competition. Third example, substitute. Fourth example is change in the customer's behavior, fashion, trend and his liking. Is it right? Customer's taste and fashion changes. The kind of clothes that you were wearing 2 years back, you don't wear it now because the fashion has changed. Is it right? You can't do anything. You can't tell the customer you wear the same type of t-shirt, okay, which we used to wear 5 years back. Same design. Yes or no? Can we dictate the customer? You continue to eat the same type of biscuit which you used to eat 5 years back. That Parle G. You will say, no, I have 20 more options now. Okay. That was fourth example. And one more example is changes in technology. Changes in technology. 5 points I have told you. Government, competition, substitute, consumer behavior and technology. Is it right? These are the outside factors, external factors, environmental factors. ये environment है, within which the businessman has to operate. Is it right? So why environmental analysis is required? First, the analysis should provide an understanding of current and potential changes which are taking place in the environment. As a businessman, we have to know what are the changes which are taking place in the environment. Because change in environment can affect our business directly or indirectly. Is it right? Suppose now online selling of book has started. Your bookstore is on, say, Lakshmi Road. Will the sale of books online affect the bookstall on a road, Lakshmi Road? Yes or no? Yes. Why? From where will you purchase book now? Will you take a say two-wheeler, go to Lakshmi Road, park your vehicle there? For half an hour you will search for a parking lot, then purchase a 200 rupees book? Or will you simply go to the website of some renowned company, place an order, the book is delivered at your home, and then you pay the price? Which one you will prefer? You will prefer online. That is change in technology. That has affected the business. So what that roadside businessmen do, who have got a proper stall, book stall, they should also provide online. It doesn't cost you much. Is it right? It doesn't cost you much to provide your books online. So you have to change. Otherwise you will die. See, one quote is written at the beginning of this chapter. Open the first heading. What is written? It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, because dinosaurs were very strong, okay, nor the most intelligent, but the one who is most responsive to change. The same thing applies to business also, not just to animals. Okay, not just to animals this statement is applying. It applies effectively to everyone. With the change, you have to change. Change is the only constant. Change is the only constant. Therefore, the first point, why we need to do business environment analysis, to understand the changes which are taking place, which will affect our business. Next is, then change in environment will provide you input for strategic decision making. After knowing the change, now you have to take a strategic decision. That is a separate chapter also, strategic planning, etc. That means how we should now respond to that change. Is it right? A competitor comes. How will you respond to that change? To understand competitor's strategy, what product is selling, at what price is selling, what technology is using, and you also try to produce similar product at a lower price and a better quality. That is how you will respond. Is it right? If the government policy changes, then you have to change your business quickly. With the same resource, you have to move your resource to other business. If government bans liquor, don't worry. You have land, you have factory building, use it for manufacturing soaps, okay, shampoo. Yes or no? With some modification in your business, you can use the resource for some other product also. So I'm just giving you an example. Respond to the change. Second reason is why we need to do environmental analysis, so that we can understand the change, we can respond to the change. Okay. And the third point is, environmental analysis should facilitate and foster strategic thinking in the organization. Only if you are doing environmental analysis, the management will continuously think, how should we respond to the environment? What new product, new service, new technology, new design, new process we should introduce. If you don't do environmental analysis, things will continue as they are. A time will come, your business will come to an end. Survival, okay, will be in danger if you do not do the environmental analysis. Okay. Now we'll see the features of business environment. Come to page 10. Come to page 10 quickly. What are the features of environment? Okay. So this question you tick mark for 4 or 5 marks again. What are the features of business environment? Characteristics of business environment. So there are 4 or 5 features. We just have to write the heading and explain it, and if possible write the example. Okay. So how would you present the answer? Following are the 5 features of business environment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Explain and write the example. In our book we have tried to write the examples in red color. So these examples we have inserted separately for the students to understand the concept better. Okay. Because today I will give you the example, after 2 days you will forget what example was given. So most of the examples are already printed there also. This book is designed in a very different way. So first of all, business environment is complex. We will discuss each heading again separately. Complex means complicated, difficult to understand and interpret. Business environment is dynamic, ever changing, continuously changing. Okay. Technology can change, competition can change. Business environment is multifaceted. That means it has multiple aspects. Not just one aspect, but multiple aspects. Again we'll discuss it. And business environment can have a far-reaching impact. Far-reaching impact means either it can lead to growth of the organization, or it can lead to decline and end of the organization, liquidation of the organization, to use a more technical word. Okay. Environment can be external or environment can be internal. Internal means which are within the organization. External means which are outside the organization. External environment is something over which we do not have much control. Is it right? because they are outside the organization. Like government policy, do we have control over government policy? Can I ask Arun Jaitley ji, please prepare a budget like this which will help my company? Can I ask railway minister, you please make a railway policy which will help my company? Yes or no? So in the annual budget they will write all companies will be charged tax at the rate of 30%. Niche ek note, exception, the above rule does not apply to A.S.Foundation. Can we have a policy like that? Not possible. External environment. Okay. So first thing about environment is features of environment. Have you noted this question for 4 mark? That why environment, what are the features of environment? Earlier I said why environment analysis is required. Now I am giving you another question, features of environment. Okay. So written in student friendly note form, you will also prepare notes like this only, but don't need to prepare now, I have done it for you. Environment includes many different factors. It's very complex. If you sit down and start analyzing, you'll find there are so many factors I have to consider which affects our business. 5 examples I have given you. Government and government policy, substitute product, competition, technology and customer behavior. Is it right? And this list is not a complete list, it's just example. So environment may be including different factors like competition. More the number of competitors, again you have to do more and more analysis. Some competitor may be small, some may be big. Is it right? Some may sell the same product, some may sell some differentiated product. Same product means absolutely same. You are selling rice, he is also selling rice. Differentiated product means he is selling better rice. Different variety of rice. Is it right? Like 2 mobile phone companies are selling differentiated mobile phones. They are mobile phones but with different features. So you have to think from that angle also. Then events, like for example changes in technology. Conditions and influences arising from different sources. Government policy. In India, if you have to do business, you have to understand more than 60 different types of regulations. Is it right? You have to know what is Income Tax Act, what is Companies Act, what is Partnership Act, Environment Act, Factory Act, Workmen Compensation Act, okay, Child Labor Act. Then start business. Understanding one simple law is so complicated. Understanding so many laws and then you have to start the business. Okay. So environment is easy to understand in part, but difficult to grasp in totality. Because so many factors are affecting at the same point of time, it becomes difficult to really understand what is going to happen. If I understand government policy, at the same time competitor is also changing his policy. इसको देखो या उसको देखो? किसको देखो? सबको देखिए. हाँ, सबको देखते रहना आपको. As a businessman, सभी factors को मुझे ध्यान में रखना है. Environmental is influential. Each of this heading can be a true-false question also. Environment is influential, true or false. It means environment influences the business decision. Business policies, business decisions are affected by changes in environment. Is it right? That is what they are trying to say. I have given some example for your understanding. Sometimes there is a change in government at the center. It affects the business. It affects the businessman. Like I said, I'll repeat that extreme example. That suppose the government changes, it bans the sale of liquor and tobacco products. Extreme governments can do that also. Yes or no? There are some states in India where liquor is banned. Is it right? What about those enterprises which were selling liquor before the ban? Their resources are stuck there. Their capital is now stuck. So they will incur losses. Is it right? What if the government allows foreign direct investment in retail sector? Anybody can start retail business by taking funds from foreign companies. Will it affect your business? What will happen to the kirana shop? Will they be able to compete with a giant company like Walmart or Reliance Fresh? Difficult, yes or no? Yes. It may affect the level of competition. Change in government policy can make your competition not at the national level, your competition will be at international level now. Like for example, India, the market for car manufacturing. Indian car manufacturers have to compete not with Indian car manufacturers. They have to compete with global car manufacturing companies, which may be in Japan also, Germany also, US also, China also. Okay. So that is called influential. Environment is influential. And third, again, I repeat, environment is dynamic. Continuously changing, constantly changing. Okay. If you are kept in a, suppose, prison for 6 months, after 6 months, if you are out, and if you see around, you will find so many changes have taken place. Many businesses are not in existence. New businesses have come. New technology has come. Is it right? New product have come. That is called dynamism. As a businessman, those who are in business, they have to understand these changes and also accordingly design their strategies according to the changes. Okay. It is not the fastest or the most intelligent survive. One who can respond to the change will survive. Is it right? Yes. So for example, like some example from your day-to-day life, mobile phones have evolved over a period of time. Have you seen a mobile phone 15 years back when it was introduced in India in 1995? It was simple mobile phone with that keypad. No color, okay, no video, no photography allowed. Only just plain text SMS you can type after a lot of efforts, and you can make the phone calls, which is the purpose of a mobile phone. Nowadays, other than making phone call and SMS, we do everything on the mobile phone, but not for the original purpose. Is it right? Then mobile phone becomes color screen. You can take photograph, some videos also. Then touch screen, keypads are out now. Most of the mobile phones are into that range now. Okay. Nowadays mobile phones are loaded with so many features also. Is it right? A company in mobile phone business, they also have to continuously upgrade those features. One of the world famous companies, Nokia, is still there, but it could not match the speed with which other competitors like Apple or Samsung change their features. Is it right? So once upon a time, the market leader Nokia, which had more than 80 or 90% of the global market share, is now just some percentage. It has become a loss-making company. It has to sell its business to Microsoft to survive. Is it right? Because they cannot respond dynamically to the change from a keypad-based mobile phone to a touchscreen mobile phone. Or the other example is, nowadays the education sector is witnessing a lot of changes. Is it right? So what is the important change which have taken place in the field of education in the last 1 or 2 years, or maybe at the max 3 years? Use of virtual classrooms for teaching purpose. Earlier it was hard to believe that we will attend a class where teacher is not physically present. Is it right? But nowadays there are proper classes, student will be there, teacher will be there, but not his physical form. His virtual form will be there. He will be appearing on a television screen or a projector screen. What he is teaching appearing on the other half of the projector or the screen, and you can learn easily. Only mentally you have to be ready that the teacher is not physically present. Otherwise, everything which he is teaching, which is getting recorded, is just reproduced, telecasted, shown, okay, in some other classroom also. Is it right? So at one point of time, a teacher can now teach thousands of students through this virtual classroom. So virtual classroom will become a threat to the face-to-face classroom where the teacher is physically present and teaching. Is it? That is a change in environment. So what if I say, no, I will only teach face-to-face, I will not teach in the virtual mode. A time will come, there is no student available. Students can now study at the comfort of their home also on the internet. You can just log on to internet, pay the price, and the video lectures are available for each subject. Okay. So much of your time, energy, money would be saved. Okay. So that is a change. Fourth is environment is multifaceted. Environment has multiple features, multiple changes which takes place. Okay. What shape and character environment assume depends on the perception of the observer. Is change good or bad? Answer. Is a particular change good or bad? It depends on the person. For some person, a change may be bad. Let's say, for example, a teacher who is not very well versed with the technology, and he finds that now virtual classes are appearing, satellite classes, video classes, online classes are appearing. He would not like the change. He will not like the change because now people are not going to attend his lectures in the classroom. But there may be a dynamic person who is ready to get his lecture recorded, then upload on the internet and sell through virtual mode also. He would like the change because earlier he had a limitation. He can teach only 50 students in a classroom. Now he can teach 5,000 students through video lectures. Am I right? Same change, liked by one, not liked by other person. Is it right? Any particular change in an environment or a new development may be viewed differently by different observers. This is frequently seen when the same development is welcomed as an opportunity by one company, and while another company perceives it as a threat. So this example of virtual classes I have just now given, it is an opportunity for many teachers. It is also a threat for many teachers. It depends on how do you see it, how do you perceive it. Okay. Any other example which you can give, which different people will perceive in different manner? Online? Online shopping, good or bad? Online shopping, suppose you have to purchase sandal. Will you purchase online or you'll go to the store and buy? Store, why not on this size? That's it. See, what you should do, you should go to the store, check the size and purchase it online. It's a branded product. You are assured about quality. If you don't like it, you can return it also. Is it right? So future is going to belong to online shopping. Those big malls which you see around you, after say 5 years, mark my word, will become outdated. Is it right? Just remember my words. These big shopping malls will become outdated. They will be there only for display, and as you said, if you want to take the size, go there, take the size. They will be specifically created where customer will be told, if you are in Pune, go to that particular place, take the size of your shoes, and then you place online. Okay, so they don't have to spend money on this big shopping malls, pay rent so much. Okay, so is it good or bad? Good or bad? So again, it depends. Okay, so that is why I said this environment has multifaceted. Different people will perceive differently a change. Then next point is environment has a far-reaching effect. What is a far-reaching effect? It can impact on organization in a big way. It can impact an organization in a big way. Like for example, this touch screen mobile phone have made Apple the biggest company in the world. Is it right? Before that it was not that big a company. Only because of the iPhone, iPad, it has become one of the biggest companies in the world. So big that their income is more than GDP of some countries. Their annual income is more than defense budget of a country like India. What government of India as a country spends on the annual defense, that is the income of this company Apple. Is it right? So because of the change in technology, and they adopted the change early. Later on so many people copied them, but they adopted the change early. Some company will come to an end also. Some company will come to an end. Like this Nokia could not match the speed, sold to Microsoft. Some camera manufacturing company, Kodak, wound up. Earlier photo means Kodak. Kodak is not there. Kodak movement is no longer there now. Is it right? That is why I said environment is having a far-reaching impact. It can give a lot of opportunities to some enterprise. It can also result into death of certain enterprise. Okay? So change in environment, change in competition, change in customer taste and fashion, change in government policy. वापस मैंने 4 पॉइंट रिपीट किए, और you can add their introduction of a substitute product 5 will either result into opportunity or result into death of an organization. Okay, so we'll stop here today. Thank you very much.